friends. I hope you guys are doing well. I really miss seeing you guys this week, but I know that we will be back together again soon. So I wanted to take a second to walk you through the lessons and projects that you'll be completing this week. Um, I worked really hard to plan some things that, number one, are exactly like what we would be doing if we were together, and number two are things that you would definitely be able to complete at home. I am completely available to you this week if you have any questions or need some clarification on how to do any of these things, but definitely start with listening to this entire, is it a video? I guess it's a video first. Um, then you can message me on It's Learning. You can also send me an email to my Forsyth email address, but I think It's Learning would probably be faster. Um, all right, so if you go to the plans in your fourth grade gifted resource class, then you'll see school closure lessons for the week of March 15th. I know in your homeroom class, you're probably going to be getting a different lesson each day, but because of the way that we do our projects and they kind of are longer and more extended, I thought it made the most sense to do it this way. So you will be comparing and contrasting old amusement parks with new ones. So this is what I think is a really interesting lesson. Now, I really packed in a lot of stuff for you guys this week. You will probably not finish the project at the end, and we will continue it next week, either if we're online or if we're back in class together. But you should be working on this for 45 minutes a day. So whatever work you complete should reflect that amount of time. All right, so first and foremost, I want you to pretend that you were living 100 years ago. Your family is visiting one of the country's very first amusement parks. Think about how you would feel and the things you anticipate seeing or experiencing. You've only heard about these parks in newspapers, because it's a pretty newfangled thing. Now compare your imagined experience with being told that you were going to Six Flags this weekend. Do you think it was more or less exciting to visit an amusement park 100 years ago versus today? Why or why not? And you're going to share your answer here. All right, so it has the question for you right here, and then you're going to say, I mean, it's either yes or no, obviously with an explanation. I'll be really curious to see what you guys said. I did it on a Google Doc so you guys could see what other people are saying, because we would be doing this as a conversation at the beginning of our lesson if we were all together. It is very important that we're not doing silly things on here. We're not having conversations. We're answering the question just like we'd answer the question in class if I called on you and you raised your hand. Okay, so after that, you're going to look at gathering information, because you've got to really learn about what the amusement parks were like back then versus here. So there's links at the top of the chart to help you answer the questions. You will need to copy the chart and save it to your Google Drive. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. But that was exactly like what we did for Fakebook. Those of you that were here for that project that we did for our last unit. You'll want to share the file with me so I can see what you are working on. So if you click on this chart, you will not be able to edit this without making a copy. So you go to File, make a copy, and then what I want you to do, so I know whose project I'm looking at. Oh, it would be great if I spelled contrast correctly. So erase where it says copy of, and then say your name. All right, and then no, I'm not sure if you click share with the same people, because I don't know that it's shared with anyone. I wouldn't click that. I would share it with me in just a minute. All right, so you click OK. Now you have it in your Google Drive, and it'll open it up, and then you'll go over here to share it. And then you'll type my name in. So if you just type in Carrie, Bates, then you'll see my picture here, and you'll hit send. Then I can see your progress. And if you have a question, it'd be a lot easier for me to help you. Okay, so first you're going to be filling in, you're answering these different questions about old amusement parks versus new ones. So for the old parks, there's a video. It's pretty long. You do not have to watch the whole video unless you really want to. I personally find it interesting. So you can watch the video. And there are articles about 6 different early amusement parks that you can read. I think it's really fascinating. Oh, my spacing was off, sorry. This one's really cool. Look how it's floating on the water. How awesome is that? Okay. So then you'll be filling in what you learned about old amusement parks. I will tell you, this is the least challenging part. The really challenging part is actually the new amusement parks. There is an article right here that is full of a lot of good information about amusement parks today. And you'll notice there are a lot of hyperlinks. Oh yeah, okay. So there's a lot of hyperlinks if you hover over some words and you want to read a little bit more about it, you can. And there's also the websites to some different parks. Now, the questions are not going to be really easy to find on these websites. You're really going to have to dig around, especially the one that's asking about the map and any other information. So you'll have to use your inferencing skills, which is why we're doing it, right? Because I don't want it to necessarily be super obvious to you. All right, so the different questions. Where are either the old ones or the modern ones mainly located? Is it the city, the suburbs, or the country? What age demographic, which means like, is it kids, is it adults, is it some sort of combination? And then what specific features were designed to attract them? I will tell you, for the newer amusement parks, it's not really going to tell you that. You've got to see, the types of people that you see on the pictures, and then if you've gone to these amusement parks, kind of think about it. But for the older ones, you'll be able to get that from the article and the video. What are the 3 most appealing attractions? So again, it might be part your opinion, but you'll have to base that on some of the information that you get. How are the parks organized? The geographical layout. So that's where you'll want to see a map. I want to say, I can't remember, I think it was Six Flags. Like if you scrolled, was it down at the bottom? You can see the different rides, you can see the water park, you can see kind of all the different things. Oh, here we go, park map. So then you can see what the map looks like and kind of analyze it. And I do want you guys to keep in mind, at the end of this unit, you'll be creating your own. Oh my gosh, that looks so cool. You'll be creating your own amusement park. So really be using this as a time to think about what you would like to include in your specific amusement park. Okay. Where did it go? I think you guys are really gonna have fun with this. All right, and then how are they organized? All right, besides the rides and the tickets, how do the business owners generate revenue? Revenue being money. And 3 additional interesting facts. I don't think that will be difficult for you to find additional interesting facts. Now, if we could only go on a field trip to, oh gosh, maybe Disney World. I don't know, Busch Gardens is pretty cool. Okay. After you do the chart, you're going to complete a Venn diagram to compare the old and the new. You will have to most likely, oh goodness, you'll have to create a text box. Okay, so I would insert a text box. Where's text box? Maybe not. There we go. No. All right, I'll go back to you on that one. I'll make it where you guys can write on this. Okay, I want you to have 3 things in each section. If it's difficult to do it on the computer, you are welcome to do this on a piece of paper. All right. Finally, here comes your project. I think you guys are going to love the 3 choices that you have. So you're going to think about the rides that have lasted through the decades. So what are things that you saw when you were learning about the old amusement parks that you still see at amusement parks today? What makes them timeless, meaning able to withstand the test of time? Research a ride that you believe is timeless. You can use the links on ClassLink or websites that your parents approve of. Then choose one of the products below. You can choose to create a digital copy of your product in Google Drive and share it with me digitally, or create one using materials at home and bring it to school. So your first choice is to create a diagram of your ride, which remember is a timeless ride, and record at least 10 facts about it. Create a then, now, and future picture of your ride, making sure to label the changes. I think that one's really cool. Or write an advertisement poster for your ride. Be sure to include persuasive language that highlights the very best features. All right, and then after you finish this project, which you may or may not finish this week, I'm thinking that this part might actually carry over to next week. When we get an idea of if we're coming back to school next week or not, I will kind of update you guys on where I expect you to be. You should definitely be in process, making pretty good headway on one of your 3 choices. But when you're done, you're going to Instagram it. So if you were posting a photo on Instagram about the meaning of timeless, it's not just a picture of your ride, it's about the word timeless. What picture would you post? What caption would you give? There's a template that you can copy onto a Google Doc, or you can draw the square on a piece of paper. All right, if you have any questions, reach out to me with the chat app right here, or you can send me an email to my Forsyth email. But honestly, guys, this is the best way right here. So chat with me on It's Learning, and enjoy your projects. I really do miss you all, but I think that this is going to be an interesting opportunity. It'll be kind of cool to work in a different space than you normally are doing your gifted lessons. And hopefully I will see you again very, very soon.